Welcome to Sharps and Flats with Kingsley, everyone. By the end of today, you're going to be able to play this. Here it goes. Okay, everyone, today we are going to be learning the blues. And man, I remember when I first started playing music and I would see all these cymbals and see just, runs of eighth notes and weird rhythms I'd never seen before. Like, it was a bit overwhelming. I wish someone then had told me, just listen a lot and get the music inside my head so I can get my head out of the music. That being said, to do these lessons, you've got to have some music in front of you so you know what to play, because not too many people are willing to just sit and listen to recordings, although you should. Now, I am far from the best saxophone player ever, or the best jazz guy, but you can definitely pick up some style and some do-da-da, some stuff that sounds cool. And today, you're going to learn a lot of that. This song, the blues notes, the important ones, make sure you've printed out the music. This right here. Okay, make sure you've printed it out. It's got sections A through I, and each section is a tool. It builds on one builds after the other. Each one can be played by itself over and over. You can play the backing tracks that I provided, or if you go to any 12-bar B-flat blues backing tracks, you can play this. Go on YouTube, just type in B-flat blues backing tracks. You might find some crazy fun ones, different styles. You can play this stuff over any 12-bar blues. And once you get this stuff under your fingers, you're going to just have so much fun with this. I want you to do this. Before you go on any further with this, make sure you write these in. And I'll explain why it's so important in just a little bit. But look here, you can see where I want you to go to each Roman numeral in the first section, just section A, go to each Roman numeral and write the note above it. Whatever note that is right there, your first note, write that note there. This Roman numeral, whatever note that is, write it there. Whatever note that is, write it there. And do it to that one, that one, that one. You're going to find there's only 3 total notes. Those represent the chords that are being played. Now, this is a very simple blues. But these are the chords that are being played, and a chord is made up of 3 or 4 notes. And the notes that I'm providing through in each section are the notes of those chords. Now, to fully understand all that would take a lot more than this video, but you don't need to worry about that. That's the kind of stuff you don't need to worry about. Right now, just the knowing that you wrote those notes in, you're going to be cognizant that those are the roots. And by the way, that's what the bass player is playing. Simply put, he's playing that first note. Boom, 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 boom. He's just providing the base, the foundation of that first chord. Now, by the way, the name of these notes are going to change for different transposing instruments. For instance, flutes are going to have different notes than this. Okay, but write whatever note that is up there. And also because that symbol, for example, on my sheet, it's a C. That represents a C chord, which is made up of 3 or 4 notes. Now, a piano player has more than one finger, so they've got several fingers. They can play all those notes at the same time, and so can a guitar player. A bass player can just play one note at a time, basically. But these notes, if you think about it, every measure there's a harmonic structure of notes being provided, and if you play the notes that are in there, the important ones, it sounds cool. And it's also okay to play notes that are not in that chord, and that provides some tension, that provides some stuff that makes it feel better when you come back to the right notes. Soloing, playing all this stuff, there is no right or wrong answers. There's just having fun. Okay, So this sheet is going to provide a bunch of notes that are going to provide a lot of fun for you. I mean, there's essentially 6 solos in here, starting from simple to a little bit harder. And, definitely have fun with them. Listen to all of them. Try to play all of them. But it is so important to memorize. I cannot tell you enough how much to memorize stuff. And the best way to memorize stuff is literally turn around, face a wall. You can hear yourself a lot better. Just like you can hear me a lot better right now because I'm in the microphone, as opposed to being over here like that. When you stand against a wall or play into a mic with earphones on, you can hear yourself really well. So go do that. Hey, at the end of this, there's going to be a challenge. The whole sheet from start to finish in one long challenge at the metronome marking or beats per minute of 104. So stay tuned for that. See if you can tackle that at the end. What else do I need to tell you? Okay. Oh, by the way, every single section, A, B, C, D, and E, except the last section, every melodic thing I've given you, I've written, starts on the root of the chord. It starts on that note you wrote down. Now that can get boring after a while, but I'm doing this for teaching purposes. Now, with the exception of I, at the end, I, instead of starting on the root of the chord or the first note, it starts on the third note. And sometimes starting on the third can give a different flavor. Starting on the fifth, starting on the sixth. Now that can branch out into more theory and other stuff that we don't have time for in this video. Okay, enough said. Hey man, go have fun. This is the blues notes, the important ones. And the most important ones for right now are the first, the third, and the flat seventh. You'll understand a lot of that later. All right, here we go. Let's go. Okay, everybody, let's get started. Play that first note you wrote above the Roman numeral 1. All right. By the way, that's a concert B flat. You know what? I'm going to turn my tuner on here. And if you haven't watched the under the resources, go watch Tune Up and learn how to tune. You can also use an online tuner. So watch what I'm going to do with this needle, and I want you to match me. All right. So that's the first note. Now go to the note you wrote above the Roman numeral 4 in the fifth measure. Great. We've got those 2 notes down. Now, here's the first 4 measures. Listen to me, and then we'll do it together. Now play that along with me. Here we go. Tapping your shoe, sitting up tall, fill the room up with sound. 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, you are on your way. You're getting it. Now say this. Say dot, 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 do, dit, da. Say dot, 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 do, dit, da. Say it with me. 2, 3. But dot, 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 do, dit, da. Yeah, if you're in jazz band at school, you're going to learn. This is a great way to, if you can articulate what the notes are, then that's kind of how your mouth plays it on the mouthpiece. Whether you do that or not, try to imitate those sounds on your instrument, no matter what instrument you're playing. Okay, here is the whole thing, all of section A. We're going to do it together, just like that, and then you'll play it with me and the backing track twice. Hold on, here we go. Here's all of section A. 2, 1, 2, tap your shoe. You got it. You got it. You just played the root of every chord, by the way. Well, all those notes you wrote in are the roots of the chord. Okay. Now play it with me in the backing track. Ready, go. Now we're on to section B. It's the same rhythm as section A. We just change a note. Okay? All right. So let's do this. Play just the first two notes of section B. Just get them down. Okay? Get those two notes down. Maybe just have fun with them. Hit pause and maybe just go. You know, just have fun with them. Now, everybody say dot, 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 do, dit, da. Say it, 2, 3. Dot, 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 do, dit, da. Now you're ready to articulate all of section B. All of section B. Tap your shoe. 2, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, now it's starting to get some more flavor to it, isn't it? That's fun. Okay, play it with me and the backing track at 104 beats a minute right now. Okay, you've got A down and B, and you've got those notes really under your fingers. Now let's go to C. Okay, now say this. Say da 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 dot. Da 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 dot. Now look at C, the first two measures. Da 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 dot. Do dit da. Say it, 2, 3. Da 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 dot. Do dit da. Now you're ready to play it. Here's all of section C. Looks like there is a new note in there in the second measure. You know, maybe, how about this? Go to the second measure of C and just play those 3 notes, one note at a time. Again. Now pause, shut your eyes, and Man, you can take those 3 notes and just create your own solo. All right, man, I love to have fun. When I'm not on video, sometimes in between, I hit pause and I'm soloing too. I love that. And by the way, I love coffee, and I love orange and green, and that's why I have those colors in these videos. This is my good cup from St. Louis. Okay, but I live in Springfield, Illinois. All right, here we go. Here's the whole thing. Section C. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Good. You notice those same notes you wrote above the Roman numerals up in section A, they're still happening. We're just expanding and getting further away from them, but we're still keeping them as the root. Okay. All right. Now play all of C with me in the backing track. All right, everyone, we are on to section D now. Now, D uses some of the same notes as C, and we're just going to expand and get more and more. For the first 2 measures, say this. Say da, 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 do, dit, da. Da, 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 do, dit, da. Now play that. Just those 2 measures. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's kind of cool, isn't it? Yeah. So that's the rhythm to this whole thing. Now you will notice where the Roman numeral 5 is and the Roman numeral 4, which is the 9th and 10th measure of every, in every section. It kind of changes. The flavor changes there. And you're going to notice on the Roman numeral 5 here, right? It's kind of cool to add a different flavor on that 5 chord just to mix it up. And that's what I do. So here we go. Here is all of section D, nice and slow, sitting up tall, front edge of your chair. Music stand is between me and you, just like mine is. It's right here, by the way. You just can't see it. I try to keep it out of shot. And I try not to hit the microphone either because it's loud. All right, here we go. Section D. 2, 1, 2, 3. Man, I feel good inside just playing that stuff. Did you know music does something good for you immediately? I'm not doing this for a concert. Music just makes you feel good right now. If you can play it, and I can play this, can you? Go for it, man. All right, so now play all of section D with me in the backing track. All right, challenge yourself. It repeats twice, so if you don't get it the first time, maybe the second time, okay? All right, go. Okay, everyone, now we're on to section E. E looks kind of similar to C. Da, do, da. The first three notes are kind of similar. And then the second measure of E kind of looks like the first measure of D a little bit. So you can kind of see we're using the old tools, I'm going to call them, and we're kind of just changing them a little bit. Everybody say this. Say da, do, dot, da, 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 dot. Da, do, dot, da, 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 dot. That's the rhythm to all of E. Now just put the notes to it. If you need to pause this video and go look at it first, do that, and then play it with me. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. All right, that was section E. Yeah, you know, every now and then I choose to play some notes long instead of short. You know, by the way, I say this all the time in my, in my jazz classes. The last note in jazz is always short. Now, it's not always true, but usually long lines of jazz end like this: doo-ba dot, or doo-ba-doo dot. So a lot of times the last note in a line or a melody is kind of clipped and short. It doesn't have to be, but what about when you turn the tables and make it long? For example, look at section E. Just to make sure I'm in section E right there, and I'm going to the 5 chord, the Roman numeral 5 right there. And you might not be able to see this in the video, but I'm just showing you right where that is. Okay. On that, I'm kind of playing the last note of that measure long. I'm even playing kind of a half note, 2 beats long. You know, if you played it, that'd be fine. Or maybe you go, that's fine too. Whatever you do, make it your own. This is just a tool for you to kind of base it off of, get the notes inside you, and it's for you to launch and go do it yourself. All right, so here we go. Play it with me and the backing track at 104 beats a minute, which... Okay, you have gotten A through E. You are accomplishing a lot. This is great. Now go on to section F. Now F, we're going to add a little different flavor here. Now I'm going to give you a little bit of theory here for a second. I know you want to play, and I do too, but I kind of want to just throw this out there. We've been starting on the one, or the root of every chord. And because obviously that's important, that's the foundation. It's kind of like building a Lego set. You have a big base at the bottom and you build stuff on top. You couldn't turn it upside down. So you have to have a base, and sometimes that base note is the root. But one of the next greatest notes to be playing over any chord is the third. Now, I just want you to imagine a scale where you go da 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 da, an 8-note scale. If you go to the third note, that note is always super important. And in section F that we're about to play, the first note is the root, but the second note is the third. If you were to count up, for me, it's a C and an E. So A, B, C, D, E. C, D, E, the first and the third. For you, you might have an F and an A, or you might have a G and a B, depending on what instrument you are. But you'll think of that, that's a third. And that third of the chord is really important, and it adds a whole new flavor to what we're doing. Let's jump into it. Oh, and by the way, you'll see parentheses around that note. The reason I put parentheses is because so often that note is being played a half step lower as a flat. For example, look 3 measures ago, or like the third measure from the end of section E. You know, that note has been played as a flat so much. Now we're going to change it a little bit. So I put parentheses around it because you don't need to have the parentheses. If they weren't there, it would automatically mean it's a concert D natural, or an E for tenor saxophones and trumpets and clarinets and bass clarinets, or again a D for tubas, flutes, trombones, baritones, euphoniums. For French horns, that note is going to be an A. Okay, but up until now, that's been a flat note. So when I put parentheses around it, it's just reminding you, hey, just a reminder, it's natural. Play it regular. Now, in a little bit, you're going to see it as a flat note again, and then I'm going to put parentheses around it again to remind you, play the natural note. Okay. So, that being said, here is letter F. We're going to play it this time twice, just because it got a new note in there. Nice and slow. 2, 1, 2, 3. Hey, how did you do? Did you notice in there at all that you didn't sound like me, maybe? I think a spot where it could definitely happen would be measure 67 or the measure before it, because that note's in there. In measure 66, it was flat, and in measure 67, it was back to natural again. You know what I'm realizing right now? I didn't put parentheses around that one in measure 67. It doesn't matter though. It's still a natural note, a concert D natural, or E for some of you, or A for some of you, or B for alto saxophones, baritone saxophones. Okay, here is letter F again, just to do it again, nice and slow with me. 2, 1, 2, 3. All right, man. man, we are making progress. We are over halfway through this sheet. It just gets better and better. Okay, play it with me in the backing track now.